In the heart of Tasmania, where ancient wilderness meets alpine solitude, lies one of Australia's greatest wilderness journeys. 65 kilometers of raw, untouched beauty. This is the Overland Track. For millennia, this land was home to the Palawa people. European explorers called it impenetrable. The mountains stood silent witnesses to ancient songlines and modern discovery. The Palawa people cared for these lands for over 40,000 years. Their knowledge of seasons, plants, and survival shaped the first paths through this wilderness. We walk on country that remembers. Your journey begins months before the first step. Overland Track bookings open August 1st and sell out in days. Only 34 independent hikers per day allowed. Book early or watch from afar. Tasmania's weather is legendary. For seasons in 1 hour, 30 pounds of gear, waterproof, warm, reliable. The right equipment isn't luxury. It's the difference between adventure and emergency. Months of preparation. 65 kilometers with elevation gain, carrying weight, building endurance for Tasmanian mud, alpine winds, and unpredictable weather. The Overland Track demands respect, and your body must be ready. The moment arrives. Ronnie Creek, the gateway to Tasmania's wilderness, 5 to 6 days ahead. 65 kilometers between you and civilization. The adventure begins now. Before the first step, wisdom is shared. Weather forecasts become your Bible. Hut etiquette is law. The rangers impart knowledge earned through decades in Tasmanian wilderness. Listen carefully. Their guidance could save your life. The rainforest welcomes you with ancient silence. Trees that have stood for centuries. Every step on this living carpet is a privilege. This is Gondwanan wilderness in its purest form. The beauty hides brutality. Deep mud, slippery boardwalks. Every step a negotiation with the earth. This is where the track reveals its true nature. Uncompromising, wet, relentless. The climb to Marian's Lookout. Steep, rocky, relentless. Legs burning, lungs screaming, but at the top waits one of Tasmania's greatest views. Keep climbing. And then it appears. Cradle Mountain. Jagged dolerite peaks piercing the sky. Ancient rock carved by ice. In this moment, every struggle fades. This is why you came. Tasmania in all its glory. The lakes here are not just water. They're mirrors to the sky. Glacial clarity, alpine purity. These ancient waters have reflected these peaks for millennia. Waterfalls cascade through the ancient forest. Mist rises like spirits. Rainbows form in the spring. We stand before water that has flowed since the last ice age. Nature's power is humbling. Alpine plateau, a sea of button grass and cushion plants, exposed to wind and weather. Every step on fragile vegetation requires care. This is a heart of the track, and it demands respect. Alpine creeks block the path. Suspension bridges offer passage. Hand over hand on cables, you traverse the current. Below, freezing waterways. Above, only your courage. As daylight fades, the hut becomes sanctuary. Historic shelters built by generations of walkers. Hot meals restore weary bodies. This is the rhythm of the track. Struggle, then rest. Repeat. Night falls in Tasmania. The Southern Cross shines above. Complete darkness, unfamiliar sounds. The wilderness awakens as you rest. You are small here, humble, alive. Wombats roam these alpine plains, engineers of the ecosystem. Their burrows shelter countless species. You are a guest. Observe from distance. Never feed. Respect their space, and they'll share their world. And then, sunrise. The mountain ignites in alpenglow. In these quiet moments, you understand why thousands attempt this journey, not for the challenge alone, but for moments like this, pure, unfiltered, alive. Tasmania lives up to its reputation. Rain is not a possibility. It's a certainty. Days of it, soaking through layers, testing morale. For seasons in 1 hour, you will be tested. Day 3, day 4, the body breaks down. Doubt creeps in. Why am I doing this? Every hiker faces this moment. The track strips away pretense. Only truth remains. The Parks Rangers watch over these lands. Decades of experience in Tasmanian wilderness. They share knowledge, monitor conditions, and ensure visitor safety. Their presence is a lifeline. Each year, hikers require evacuation. Injuries happen. Exhaustion leads to mistakes. The wilderness doesn't negotiate. Know your limits. Carry emergency communication. Pride has no place here.
It's closing in. We can't wait.
How much time do we have?
We push for the hut now, or we're caught out here.
The visualization shows the front hitting the ridge in less than an hour.
We have to chance it. Waiting here is worse. Let's go.
The storm's coming fast. It's moving too quick.
We're not gonna make the hut in time.
We have to try. There's no turning back now.
Yet in struggle, community forms. Strangers from around the world become allies. Encouragement replaces complaint. The track strips away differences. Here, we're all just humans, doing something difficult together. This wilderness teems with life. Eagles patrol the skies. Wallabies bound through the forest. Platypus glide through crystal creeks. You are walking through one of Earth's last great ecosystems. Behave accordingly. Ancient Myrtle Beach forests have survived millennia. Trees have witnessed the last ice age. They've seen generations come and go. We pass through their domain in a few short days. Humility is the only appropriate response. Halfway through, something shifts. The constant struggle becomes meditation. The discomfort, clarity. You're not just hiking a track. You're discovering who you are when everything else is stripped away.
For a journey, point A, so I just transformation beginning.
Sometimes the wisest choice is to stop, to wait out the storm. The track isn't going anywhere. Your life is irreplaceable. Patience is a survival skill. Rest is not failure. It's strategy. Day 5, the final stretch. Exhaustion is real, but so is determination. One more push, one more day. The end is visible, yet you're reluctant to leave. This wilderness has become home. Symbolic final challenge. Hiker climbing the last major ascent before Lake St Clair. Looking back at wilderness one last time. Mix of relief and nostalgia. Physical effort visible but triumphant. Trail as metaphor for journey. Golden hour lighting, cinematic composition, emotional peak. Lake St Clair, the end. Or is it 65 kilometers conquered? But the real journey, the internal one, has just begun. You've tested your limits. You've survived. You've lived. Weeks later, months, years, Tasmania remains in callous feet, in strengthened spirit, in stories told and retold. The Overland Track doesn't end when you leave. It becomes part of who you are.
Undoubtedly for it is with the calculations of her injuries could only be accomplishments. But Vernon passion to the much sweat from
These lands have been home for over 40,000 years. The Palawa people cared for country long before parks existed. We walk on ancestral lands. We honor their knowledge. We respect their sovereignty.
First, pack out all of your trash and leftover food. Always pitch your tent on designated campsites or durable surfaces. Walk on boardwalks to protect fragile alpine vegetation. And first, pack out all of your trash. Always pitch tents on designated campsites. Walk on boardwalks to protect vegetation. And respect wildlife from a distance.
We are visitors. We leave no trace. Pack it in, pack it out. Stay on boardwalks to protect fragile cushion plants. Respect wildlife. Protect fragile ecosystems. The next hiker deserves the same pristine wilderness you experienced. Be a steward. For months, that's the prime trekking season, December through March. Then winter reclaims the alpine. Snow buries tracks. Weather intensifies. The wilderness rests. We are privileged to visit in the brief window it permits. "9,000 hikers attempt this each year. 65 kilometers, 5 to 6 days, mandatory bookings, extreme weather. The numbers tell a story. This track demands respect, preparation, and humility. Will you answer the call? 65 kilometers, 5 to 6 days. One of Australia's greatest wilderness walks. The Overland Track awaits. But remember, it's not just about conquering the trail. It's about letting Tasmania transform it. The sun sets on Tasmania. The wind continues. The mountains stand tall. The Overland Track remains, waiting, challenging, transforming. For those brave enough to listen, it whispers an ancient truth. The greatest journeys are not measured in kilometers, but in the person you become along the way.